Hey guys, Ari from Crescendo here, back with another review of Clipse's new album, Let God Sort 'Em Out. Virginia duo Pusha T and Malice reunite since their last album in 2009 to give us this new record. And if you know them, you probably know them from Lord Villain, one of the best rap albums I've heard, probably. Not an overstatement. And Pharrell is also back on the production for this track, and he even sings some choruses. And though the album cover looks a bit like edgy, childish, I'm not a big fan of it, but the music more than makes up for it, guys. So there's no track like Grinding on this record, but songs like those were a product of their time. Instead, we get mature and introspective songwriting, really precise setup and punchline bars, just and the flow from track to track, and the flows on each of the verses, and also just the chemistry between the brothers. It's just really great. So the album immediately starts off with the heart-wrenching track "The Birds Don't Sing," which highlights the pain that Pusha and Malice went through when they lost their parents. Pusha T says it was in God's hands. Ye was at Elon's waiting to get with me. On my way to Texas, that's when Virginia hit me, referring to the fact that he got the news of his mother's passing when he was about to go record something at Elon's house with Kanye. Malice also dropped some gems on this track, such as Mine made sure he had every base covered, so imagine his pain finding bass in the cupboard. He shares how I love my two sons was the password, was his dad's password to his phone, and also the last thing that his dad said to him. We then come to the absolute banger that is Chains and Whips. Pusha absolutely nails the chorus on this one, even though it was given to him by Pharrell. So Pusha shares how the beat was so fire that he could not come up with a chorus, and so Pharrell just gave him this one and says, "This is what I think of you guys." Kendrick also, he did not miss on this track. Maybe it's just me being a huge Kendrick fan, but all three of them had amazing verses that matched the energy of the beat. And the song POV is a bit more chill, not really one of the highlights. I did like Tyler's verse on here. He brought more energy to this track. And then Malice then bounced off of it, but then that beat switch wasn't really done so masterfully, in my opinion. I love the sample flip on So Be It, that Arabic song. And both Pusha and Malice have great verses on this track. Then we come to the lead single, Ace Trumpets. It's a masterclass in songwriting. The beat is crunchy saw wave with pretty simplistic drums. They give a lot of room for them to rap on. And I appreciate the fact that the rhyme scheme throughout the whole song, the first verse is like E, and then the chorus is like O, I think. And then Malice's verse is like ah. So I noticed that, and it's very cool. All things considered, it has a neat synth arpeggio, is also a pretty good track. And we then come to the three acronym tracks, which is MTBTTF, MBT, MBDTF, MTBTTF, EBIDTA, MBITDA, which they say EBITDA in the song, and then we get FICO, which is the credit score thing. Now, MTBTTF starts with just Push's vocals, but then the beat comes in, he's writing perfectly on it, and then Malice also just does the same thing. They're kind of mirroring each other, so Malice does the same thing on the second verse, and he drops an amazing like Spartan reference, which is pretty cool. And the highlight on EBITDA is Pusha and Malice exchanging bars. And on FICO, the credit score analogy is just used as a symbol of trust, and it's also got a decent chorus from Still Got Cooks. I didn't mention it before, but throughout this album, there's been this refrain of "this is culturally inappropriate," and it just kind of gets spammed on the track "Inglorious Bastards," Tarantino movie reference. But the beat is so infectious. It's honestly, this sounds like a cohesive force, and it doesn't sound spammy at all. Unlike on I Am Music's "The Swamp Izzo" thing, that was just super annoying. Longtime collaborator Ab Liva just drops a cool verse on this track too. then becomes a So Far Ahead. It kind of uses a similar saw wave as Ace Trumpets, and it's not really one of my favorites on this album. And it even shows up on the title track, Let God Sort Him Out. But I like Nas's verse on Chandeliers, which is this is kind of a two-part track. By the Grace of God has this suspenseful string arrangement and pushes rhyme-filled pre-chorus followed by Pharrell singing, takes this track to a whole nother level. Overall, this is probably my favorite rap album of the year so far, and it definitely deserves a rating of 9.0 out of 10. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you want to review my review, basically, you can just leave a comment down below. And if you liked it, just leave a like, and you should subscribe and turn on the bell notifications, all of that stuff, so that whenever I drop some new stuff, you get notified. But I'm planning to do more than just reviews, just general, maybe music video essays or some random music related yap. So if you like that sort of stuff, you should definitely subscribe. And yeah, you guys can also talk about what you guys would rate the album. Do you think a 9.0 is deserved? Do you think it should be a bit less, a bit more? So I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this. And yeah, thanks for watching.